Today, we are diving into one of the most ambitious urban makeovers on the entire planet. We're talking about Delhi's 2026 master plan, a blueprint that's literally designed to completely change how millions of people get around one of the world's biggest megacities. But to kick things off, I just want you to imagine this for a second. What does it actually look like to move 60,000 people in one direction in just 1 hour? Seriously, try to picture it. That absolutely staggering number. Well, that's the key to understanding the incredible scale of what we're about to explore. So that's the journey we're going on right now. We're going to zoom in, starting with the massive new transit lines that are like a new skeleton for the city. Then we'll look at the rules that are reshaping the buildings all around them. And finally, we'll get right down to the path you'll actually walk to catch your train. It's a total transformation at every single level. Okay, let's start at the very top, the macro level, the regional transit backbone. You see, you just can't build a network for a city this huge with a one-size-fits-all approach. It doesn't work. You need a smart, strategic hierarchy of systems where each one has a very specific job to do. And to really get that hierarchy, you gotta know this one crucial term. It's a bit of jargon, but it's important. PHPDT. That stands for peak hour, peak direction traffic. Basically, it's the ultimate stress test. It measures a system's true muscle, how many people it can move when things are at their absolute busiest. And here it is. This is Delhi's official strategy, laid right out. You can see 4 totally different tiers of transit. You've got the heavy hitters at the top, the regional rail or RTSA, and the metro. And then, below them, you have the more nimble systems like Metro Light and Bus Rapid Transit, the BRTS, which are designed for areas that are a little less dense. And just look at the massive difference in power here. A full-blown metro rail can handle up to 80,000 people an hour. Whoa. Metro Light, on the other hand, tops out around 15,000. Now, this isn't about one being better than the other. It's about using the right tool for the right job. The metro is the main artery, and Metro Light is like the smaller vein that feeds into it. And hey, this isn't just some plan on paper. These systems are real, and they're coming online right now. The 82-kilometer Namo Bharat line connecting to Meerut, it's already fully up and running, a total game changer for regional travel. And the Metro's big Phase 4 expansion, including that critical new Golden Line, is just about finished. All right, so let's do a quick little knowledge check based on what we've just seen. Imagine you're a planner. You've got a corridor that needs to move 12,000 people per hour during rush hour. Which system do you pick? A heavy metro, B, Metro Light, or C, a regional RRTS. If you said B, Metro Light, you nailed it. Its capacity of around 15,000 ppdt makes it the perfect, most cost-effective choice for that level of demand. That's exactly why it's being planned for areas like Narela and Rohini. It's all about matching the infrastructure to the actual need on the ground. Okay, so we've got these incredible new transit arteries designed to pump people all across the region. But, a train line by itself is kind of useless. The truly revolutionary part of this 2026 plan is how it's reshaping the actual fabric of the city around these new transit lines. And the rulebook for this whole revolution? It's a document so important that planners have nicknamed it the Planner's Bible. It's the brand new policy on something called transit-oriented development, or TOD. The big idea behind TOD is actually pretty simple, but it's so powerful. Instead of building a city for cars, you build a city for people who use transit. It means creating these communities where you can live, work, and shop, all within just a short walk of a train station. So, Delhi's new policy basically comes down to 3 huge changes. First, it creates a 500-meter influence zone around all the transit lines. Second, it allows a massive increase in how much you can build within that zone. And third, and this is the really genius part, it creates a special funding system to make sure the local neighborhood can actually handle all that new development. Let's just park on that density number for a second. 500. That's the new allowable floor area ratio, or FAR. Now, if you're not an urban planner, what that basically means is for every 1 square meter of land you own, you can now build 5 square meters of floor space. This isn't just about building taller towers, it's a fundamental shift away from a sprawling city to a series of dense, walkable urban villages built right next to the train. But how do you stop that new density from overwhelming the neighborhood? This is where that brilliant escrow fund comes in. All the development fees are ring-fenced. That's a fancy way of saying they are locked in a box and can only be used to upgrade infrastructure, like sewers, parks, and roads, in that exact same local area. And here's the best part, those upgrades have to happen before new people can even move in.
All right, so we've got the megatrains and we've got the dense new neighborhoods built around them. Let's zoom in one last time to the most personal part of anyone's commute, your first and last mile.
Because let's be real, a world-class metro system is totally useless if the walk from the station exit to your home or your office is unsafe, chaotic, or just plain impossible. This is the famous last mile problem, and the 2026 plan tackles it head-on. I mean, just look at the contrast on this slide. It's a total night and day difference. The old way often meant dodging traffic on unsafe walks and dealing with chaotic transfers. The 2026 way is all about creating a seamless planned experience with things like MMI hubs and special bays for E-rickshaws and Ikes.
And there are two key ideas that make this all possible. First, multimodal integration hubs are now required within 100 meters of new stations, creating a nice organized space to switch from a train to a rickshaw. Second, and this is truly innovative, the plan creates something called public walking envelopes. This actually requires private properties to provide public shortcuts to the station, making your walk way more direct and efficient.
So we've got the trains, we've got the neighborhoods, and we've got the walk to the station all sorted. But what's the final piece of this puzzle? Well, it's the technology that stitches all these physical pieces together into one seamless experience. And that final piece is the National Common Mobility Card, or NCMC. You can basically think of it as your universal key to unlock the entire city's transit network. No more fumbling around for different tickets or passes for different systems. And when I say universal, I really mean it. One tap of this single card gets you on the metro, the superfast Namo Bharat train, city buses, and you can even use it to pay for a spot in a smart parking lot. That is what true integration looks like. And behind the scenes, homegrown tech is making the whole system smarter and faster. The new Indigenous Automatic Train Supervision System, or IATS, is a locally developed signaling system. It has allowed the metro to safely crank up train frequency to as little as 90 seconds between trains in the busiest areas. That means less waiting on the platform and more moving. So this really brings us to our final thought. From high-speed regional rail all the way down to the design of a single footpath, Delhi's 2026 plan is a complete reimagining of what urban life can be. And it leaves us with one pretty provocative question. If a city truly rebuilds itself around public transit, what happens to the car?